All right, greetings. Welcome back to Black Bear News, where everything is connected. How y'all doing? Good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. We already got people here in Callin, and people are in Rockfin. Rockfinners, how you doing? Calliners, how you doing? Thanks for already liking up the videos and stuff. Oh, cetaceans. Did I pronounce it cetaceans? Cetaceans? Did I pronounce it cetacean? I can't remember. Okay. Cool, thank you. Anyways, as regards the intro music, well, one of the reasons that I've been so all over the place with busyness is that I'm finishing up a record, and and the song that you hear, the opening intro song, is going to be one of the songs on the record, and finishing up mixing, hopefully releasing very soon. So I will let you guys know when that comes out. When it does come out, like officially comes out, I won't be able to use that song anymore as an intro song. Not on YouTube anyways, because they'll get me for copyright on my own stuff, which is weird, but also annoying. So I just, instead of confronting it or fighting the law, I'll just use another song. We'll find another intro song. But anyways, that song has been serving as the intro song for a while. Anyways, we're live on YouTube as well. What's up, YouTubers? How you doing? All right. Everybody's here. Cool. Write a new one. Yes, I will. I will. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a Black Bear News specific. Has anybody seen this video? Victory Jen sent me this. Whale belly flops onto a 19-foot boat. I don't know. Are the large, the remaining large, creatures of the world mammals? Are they sick of our shit? Maybe we should listen to the orcas and the whales. Maybe they're sending us a message. We're tired of your mess. We're tired of what you guys are doing. Can you just get out of here and leave us alone? Oh, there's nothing wrong with the song, Schulte. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that if I play it on YouTube, they will. I can't really explain the whole thing, but they'll copyright strike my own song, even though I own it. They will copyright strike it, and then it'll be annoying to deal with, and they'll demonetize all my videos. They'll demonetize any of the videos that I have with that song on it. Anyways. Yeah, so it's weird. It's okay, though. We'll find another song. But I love this video of this whale belly flopping onto a boat. And then this is a great meme. Orcas and sharks setting their differences aside and teaming up against humans this year. You know, it's funny. Here's another interesting thing to point out. Everybody seems to be cheering on the orcas, right? Everybody seems to be cheering on the orcas, which kind of indicates that everybody understands that humans are doing too much. Humans are doing way too much. I don't see any alternative journalists out there going, "These orcas are anti-human. Think we should kill them. We should get rid of them. These whales out here, they're anti-human." I don't see that. Why? Because deep down, deep down, humans are doing too much. All you I again, that doesn't mean that I'm in league with Bill Gates or that I think Bill Gates is a cool guy or he has great ideas or that WEF or that the elites and the controllers are great people for having nefarious designs on human beings. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you all know deep down humans are doing too much. The ones that are like, humans are causing climate change? Preposterous. Come on, man. We're doing too much. And when the orcas and the whales start attacking, boats in the water, can you take that as a signal or a sign that maybe they're sick of our shit? Come on, man. What's wrong with people? They're great. I mean, sure, they can be fine. Some people are nice. But as a whole, we're doing too much, okay? Maybe we should just tone it down just a little bit. Individually, I could say, people are real beautiful and stuff. Yeah, there's lots of people I think are very beautiful people. As a whole, doing too much. All right? So that doesn't mean you're anti-human. That could mean that you just are good at assessing the situation. Jesus effing Christ. There's microplastics everywhere. We're polluting the shit out of the oceans. We're, pumping and drilling and blowing oil, all over the earth. We're mining the earth to death. We are deforesting the earth to death. We are polluting the earth to death. But humans are absolutely not causing climate change. Y'all, come on, man. Which one is it? Confused ass people. Oh, pollution is really bad. I mean, we're really polluting the heck out of everything. And this train derailments and spilling chemicals all over the place and just jacking the earth to bits. We're really messing up the place. But climate change, ridiculous. Okay. Really? Are you sure? Please square that circle for me. And when all the fish are gone and when all the the ability to grow food is gone and when the ice caps have melted and and things are really, really bad, I don't know. At that point, there's not much to say, and there's no inclination on my part to be like, I told you so. But I told you so. A lot of people told you so. But you're like, no, we got to keep going. We got to keep going. More stuff for humans. How about, how about we just take a break? How about we just dial it back a little bit? Is that okay? Anyways. Listen to the whales and the orcas. heed their calling. Heed what they have to say. Take note. Birds are dying. Seagulls are dying off the coast of Mexico because they can't find fish to eat because the oceans are too warm. Can you put all that together in your brain and make sense of it? Can you put it all together and go, yeah, there's a picture there. I wonder what it is. Global oceans are severely hotter than we have observed since records began. There are several ocean heat waves. El Nino equals danger for Galapagos marine life. Boiling tropical Atlantic equals early hurricanes. Cat 5 marine heat wave in UK. Here's a quick tour and a thread. I don't know if there's no sound on this. Right. Like a level 4 marine heat wave in the UK. And all the, and the birds can't find any fish to eat. And of course, there's nothing going on. What are you talking about? I don't know. Human activity on Earth systems could, parentheses, has, resulted in unpredictable chaos from which there is no return. Earth could feasibly descend into chaos, physicists warn. This is from Science Alert. The impact of human activity on the Earth system could result in unpredictable chaos from which there is no return, physicists have calculated. Using a theory conceived to model superconductivity, a team of physicists led by Alex Bernardini of the University of Porto in Portugal showed that after a certain point we will not be able to restore equilibrium to Earth's climate. Are you going to let people know that there's a very real possibility that that is already the case? Can't do that. A finite amount of human activity could result in a hothouse Earth from which there is no return. They detailed their work in a paper made available in April 2022 on the preprint server Arxiv archive. I think that's what they're trying to do there. It's cute with the X in the middle, archive. That remains to be peer reviewed. The implications of climate change are well known: droughts, heat waves, extreme phenomena, etc. Physicist Orfo Bertolami told Live Science last year, if the Earth system gets into the region of chaotic behavior, we will lose all hope of somehow fixing the problem. For some years now, extreme weather events seem to be occurring more regularly. Wildfires blaze, storms rage, temperatures reach new records. Climate scientists have warned that this is a consequence of human activities, such as the burning of fossil fuels, deforestation, increases in farming and consumption, and mining, and shipping, and traveling, and buying, and consuming, and throwing away, and, right? Just doing whatever we want. This has led to the proposal of a new geological epoch, the Anthropocene. Really, has it? Tell me more. A period in which human activity has led to a significant marked impact on the entire Earth system, comprised of the geosphere, biosphere, hydrosphere, and atmosphere. The Anthropocene could follow the Holocene, which started around 11,700 years ago. The scientists propose its beginning around the middle of the 20th century, a peak of the nuclear era. Bernardini and his colleagues decided to model the transition from Holocene to Anthropocene as a phase transition and calculate its future trajectory accordingly. Phase transitions are very common. That is what is known as the climate is always changing. Although this is different. The term refers to how a material changes from one state to another. A solid melts into a liquid boils into a gas, a metal transitions from a normal state to a superconducting one. Each of these has a tipping point at which an equilibrium state undergoes a profound shift into another state. The Earth system is not a material, but research shows that phase transition modeling can be used to predict climate shifts with some success. Bernardini and his colleagues used the Ginzburg-Landau theory developed to model superconductivity and applied it to the Anthropocene based on temperatures, starting at a Holocene equilibrium point. Now, human influence is limited. Our world has a finite amount of habitable space, a finite amount of resources, and a finite rate at which we can use them. Given this maximum capacity, the researchers decided to map the possible outcomes of the Anthropocene phase transition using a logistic map, a tool to explore how complex outcomes and even chaos can evolve from a simple point. The results showed that we're not necessarily headed for a certain climate doom. We might follow quite a regular and predictable trajectory, the endpoint of which is climate stabilization at a higher average temperature point than we have now. That's still not great, given the deadly effects we're already seeing on humans and other animals. But at the more extreme end, Earth runs into havoc. This means that the Earth system evolves into a chaotic behavior, extreme seasonal fluctuations, and weather events that precludes prediction of the future behavior of the system, making it impossible to mitigate. It means it would be extremely difficult, if not impossible, to claw our way back to a stable climate. Sounds like a challenge. Dividing the human activities into multiple components, we have studied a case with only two of those components following logistics maps and interacting with each other. Even for the simple case, we observe the emergence of chaotic behavior in the equilibrium point of the Earth system. This leads to potentially important consequences if at least some components of the human activities actually follow logistic maps, which is quite a reasonable hypothesis given the physical limitations of the planet-wide system we live in. This outcome isn't inevitable, which is something of a relief, but the researchers say we need to consider it a real possibility for designing strategies to mitigate climate change and manage the Earth system in the future. Okay. The future is now. Scott Andrews says people are getting out of the cities. Okay. They are. You're right. That's very scary. Well, and here are, just examples of chaotic weather. Seems to be happening a lot these days. Strong winds and heavy rains in Destin, Florida. Sorry, I'm waiting for this to load. Massive floods after heavy rains in Turkey. History will vindicate Ted Kaczynski. Obsolete optics, yeah. Oh, the other really funny thing I want to comment on is how much of a kind of a figure Ted Kaczynski is for a lot of alternative journalists who otherwise don't believe in climate change. And I feel like shouting at the top of my lungs through the screen every time they bring up Ted Kaczynski, saying he was, completely convinced of climate change and the fact that we were going to destroy the Earth with our technocracy. They're like, well, Ted Kaczynski certainly did believe in a technocratic future. And yeah, he was kind of spot on there. I was like, did you forget about the part about climate change? You knuckleheads? Like, these knuckleheads bring up Ted Kaczynski as if he's like kind of an anti-hero. But you leave out the part about climate change. Conveniently, so you can keep on ramming the stupid shit down people's throats. Do you leave that part out? It's a kind of a big gaping hole in your messaging there, people who talk about Ted Kaczynski. It's kind of a huge hole in your messaging. Ted Kaczynski was convinced we were going to destroy the planet with our technocracy and our technological prowess. The things we were doing were going to destroy our ability to have stable ecosystems. That's called climate change. And I keep on hearing people bring up Ted Kaczynski saying like, yeah, he's pretty spot on there. Yeah, this guy was, I don't believe in his methods and how would he, I don't either. I don't believe what he did was the right way to do it, but I mean, you're leaving out a big part of his message there, his manifesto. You goofballs. Again, really lame journalism, and bad journalism too. He was the ultimate doomer. Ted Kaczynski was the ultimate climate change doomer. The ultimate. One of the most, whatever. Yes, exactly. It drove him mad. Creative experiments is what happens when you actually believe in climate change and your brain can't handle it. And all these people are talking about him and leaving out the whole climate change part. I can't believe it. I am just gobsmacked. Again, keep following these people. They're mostly good journalists, but they just insist. They're doing bad journalism on this point, and they're misleading the shit out of you on this point. And I don't like people who are very smart people and know a lot about the truth and are really intent on giving you the truth and seem to somehow just walk into a complete blind alley whenever they get to this subject. It almost feels intentional. Because they are too smart to understand that, I don't get it. It feels intentional to me. And I'm sorry if I'm implicating people that a lot of people pay attention to and watch. I'm sorry. But you should, if you're one of these people, I have questions for you. What's up, Fantomas? How you doing?
Good afternoon. I think it's long overdue. We talked about this before for some kind of debate for something so people can actually see science in front of them and for people to quit ducking this type of discussion that needs to be had because there's talking in circles for so many people regarding these issues. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know, yeah, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I see it like every day, I mean, I know you do too, Fantomas. I know you follow probably a lot of the same journalists I follow.
Well, I understand it on a point. I mean, it's good for the funnel system for the traffic and revenue because so many people want to believe that things are a complete hoax and we can just keep doing what we're doing and there's no consequences whatsoever.
Yeah.
And just pointing to like just basic scapegoats, easy targets, and then not paying attention. And this is intentional, by the way, people, not just pointing to the scapegoats and just ignoring all of the scientists who've studied this for 30 or 40, 50, 60 years.
Right. I mean, there's plenty of scientific study and data and evidence behind it. Lots and lots of it, right? From all over the place, from all over, from through time, from all over the planet. You know what I mean? You just can't really escape it, And the evidence points to the fact that the people in charge have done their very best to downplay this information. Right.
Well, I think it's funny the fact that again, it's 2023. The evidence is becoming more and more alarming as we continue on with this earth, and it's going to get even worse. And people are still going to be laughing. I think that the thing that's going to come down to it is a lot of people are going to start realizing and start knowing and looking to their side of all the people that have lost their homes, have lost their livelihood, have lost their life. Because people, here's the other thing about climate change and the world changing in front of you. We live on a razor thin budget for life, where it concerns to build this back up, and the fact that people still want to play around with this,
right?
And still pretend. I'm just going to say you're just going to have to see it right in front of your eyes, and in some cases, a lot of people have already seen that. But I guess it just needs to be more apparent now.
I feel like it's incredibly obvious if you're paying attention, but this is what angers me though about the journalists, that do this, is that they're not really helping the people that they're purporting to help, and it's infuriating, because they admit as much, they admit every single day, like, well, we're doing bad things to the planet,
Yeah.
every single day. Oh well, oh yeah, we're polluting the crap out of here, and we're trampling all this over here, and we're destroying nature in so many ways. But climate change, of course not. It's like, all right, dude, all right. It really does. I mean, after a point, it really does feel intentional to me. At a certain point, it just feels like, really? I mean, I don't know. Anyways, but what do I know? Some people are. It's hard for people to wrap their heads around things. But thanks for your call, Fantomas. Anyways, yeah. I mean, you're going to get to a point where there's not really going to be any. What more evidence do you want that things are greatly amiss? Texas is like a steam room. They are experiencing an intense and extended period of extreme heat added to high humidity. The heat indexes have exceeded 120 degrees. There is no indication of upcoming relief. When the electricity lines melt, the aircon stops. Then what? Right. And then this is coming up from Mexico, right? Mexico also experiencing some places incredibly high heat. 40 degrees in Monterey. 43 in Houston. Heat index is currently above 120 degrees in certain areas due to the intense heat and humidity. On the feels like map below, this poses a risk to those who are vulnerable or do not have access to cooler environments. Somebody saying, they're in Texas, it's stupid hot. Yeah. Anyways, that is, something that's happening. And it's all over the planet, right? India, China experiencing early heat waves this spring, Siberia, Canada, etc., etc. Jem Mandel, it's worth repeating, what happens in the Amazon doesn't stay in the Amazon. Forests help to create cooling clouds all around the world, a truth that has been relatively neglected in mainstream climatology and policy response. Anyways, Amazon deforestation linked to reduced Tibetan snows. I'm not going to read too much of this. And Antarctic ice loss. Earth's climate is controlled by a complex network of interactions between the atmosphere, oceans, lands, ice, and biosphere. As Fantoma said, like a razor thin zone of habitability. And when you mess with the interactions of all of those things, atmosphere, oceans, lands, ice, and biosphere, then you create something different that may or may not be amenable to you continuing to be around. Many of the elements in the system are now being pushed towards tipping points beyond which changes become self-sustaining, with the whole Earth system potentially shifting to a new steady state. I think this might be just to piggyback on the last article I read. You also get orcas and whales going like, hey, humans, hey, we're about done with you. All right. Where are we at? We might actually let's see if I think I'm trying to check and see if I missed something here. For the first part of the show today, I think this might be the end of this segment of the show, and we might jump over to Rockfin for the rest of the show. This is some other things I want to cover. As you know, there are some things that are a little spicy for YouTube. Anyways, the most absolute best way to support the show, or a few ways: paypal.me/Kevin Sandbloom, Venmo at Kevin Sandbloom, Cash App at Red Llama Music, buymeacoffee.com/Black Bear News. And y'all can follow me on Twitter if you are of the mind. All those links are in the description box of all the platforms I'm on. All right, yeah, we're going to switch over to some other news. So I'm going to jump off of YouTube now and go to Rockfin. So everyone join me on Rockfin, ROKFIN.com. And you can watch for free there. You don't even have to make an account. You can just go watch the page if you want. Or you can subscribe, which is super awesome, and endorse my channel. That's another way to support the show. You can super ray me over there. You can super chat me here. All right. I'll see you on Rockfin.